Welcome back to my channel Pocket Change Coins. If you love discovering hidden treasures and learning about rare US coins, you're in the right place. In today's video, we'll reveal some of the most valuable coins that could be worth far more than you think. Stick around till the end, you won't want to miss what these rare gems are really worth. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel to enjoy more discoveries in future. Let's dive in. We're diving deep into the world of rare US coins, and what better way to start than with the iconic Liberty 1 dime from 1965. This little coin, often overlooked by many, could be worth a fortune, and I'm sure you'll want to know exactly how valuable it might be. We'll be talking about its history, design, the rarity of this coin, and, of course, the jaw-dropping value that it could fetch if you happen to find one in pristine condition. By the end of this video, you'll understand why this particular dime is one of the most sought-after coins in American numismatic history. Now, let's take a step back and look at the history behind the 1965 Liberty 1 dime. The United States had already issued dimes for centuries by the time 1965 rolled around, but this coin holds a unique place in the country's monetary history. In 1965, the U.S. government was facing a major shortage of silver. It was a time when silver prices were rising, and the government was finding it more and more expensive to produce coins with precious metal content. To address this issue, the U.S. Mint began experimenting with new compositions for coins. While most of the dimes produced that year were made of a copper-nickel blend, a small batch of dimes was still minted with 90% silver, just like the dimes from previous years. This was a pivotal moment, as the 1965 dimes marked the beginning of a shift toward coin compositions that no longer contained as much silver. But here's where the story gets interesting: many of the coins minted in 1965 were, in fact, made using the new copper-nickel mix. However, a few of those dimes were mistakenly struck with the silver composition. And while this may sound like a simple error, it actually created a rare, highly valuable coin that collectors and investors now covet. In terms of design, the 1965 Liberty 1 dime was crafted by famous artist John R. Sinek. The obverse side features a powerful image of Lady Liberty, a symbol of freedom and independence in the U.S. The design of Liberty on the front of the dime is often admired for its graceful features, with her hair flowing freely, representing strength and elegance. On the reverse side, the dime features the traditional depiction of a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch. The torch symbolizes liberty and freedom, while the olive branch represents peace, and the oak branch symbolizes strength and endurance. These elements come together to represent the core values of the United States, and they have been part of the dime's design for years now. While the coin's design is stunning and rich with symbolism, it's the rarity of the 1965 Liberty 1 dime that truly makes it stand out. Because of the silver error during production, only a very small number of these dimes were minted, and they are extremely hard to come by today. Most of the 1965 dimes were made with the copper-nickel blend, so those silver dimes are a rare find. If you happen to own one of these coins, you've got a piece of American history in your hands. Collectors go crazy for these rarities because, not only is it a mistake, but it's also a glimpse into the transitional period of U.S. coinage. The fact that only a limited number were ever minted means that the value of a 1965 silver Liberty 1 dime continues to climb. As with any rare coin, the condition plays a significant role in determining its worth. While most of the 1965 silver dimes were circulated and suffered from wear and tear, those that have been preserved in mint or near-mint condition are incredibly valuable. Coins that have stayed in uncirculated condition or are graded highly by professional numismatic organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation (NGC) or Professional Coin Grading Service (PCGS) are the ones that can fetch the highest prices. So, what's the real value of a 1965 Liberty 1 dime today? Well, it's not just a few dollars or even a couple $100. If you're lucky enough to find one of these elusive silver dimes in pristine condition, you could be looking at a whopping $131,000. That's right, $131,000 for a single dime. Can you imagine finding one of these rare beauties in your coin collection or at a garage sale? It just goes to show how much a simple error, a small mistake during production, can dramatically increase a coin's value. If you think about it, this coin represents so much more than just money. It's a piece of history, a reminder of a pivotal moment in US currency, and a rare treasure that connects you to a moment in time. So, if you've got some old coins lying around, take a closer look at them. You never know when you might come across a hidden gem like this. Second coin, we're going to talk about one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatic history, the 1894 Liberty 1 dime. This particular dime is much more than just a piece of currency. It's a rare treasure, a mystery, and a legend, all wrapped into one tiny, but incredibly valuable, coin. If you think dimes are just small change, think again. The 1894 Liberty 1 dime is one of the most coveted coins by collectors, and for good reason. Stick with us to the end, because we'll reveal the stunning price that this little coin can command today. Let's begin by taking a closer look at the history of the 1894 Liberty 1 dime. The late 19th century was a period of transition for the United States, with the country facing economic challenges, new technologies, and shifts in the political landscape. By 1894, the U.S. Mint had already been producing dimes for over a century, but this particular year would see a coin with a very unusual story. At the time, the U.S. Mint was in the midst of experimenting with various designs and new methods of coin production. While the design of the Liberty Head dime had been in circulation for several decades, it was still a relatively standard issue. However, in 1894, something extraordinary happened. Only a very small batch of dimes was minted, and this particular coin became incredibly rare as a result. The reason for its rarity is tied to a unique production error that occurred at the mint. Out of the total dimes produced in 1894, only 24 of them were made as proof coins, which are specially struck for collectors. These proof dimes were made with extra care and attention to detail, intended to be sold to collectors as a demonstration of the mint's high-quality production. However, there's a bit of mystery surrounding these coins. The 1894 Liberty 1 dime was never officially released to the public, and there's still debate over how some of them ended up in circulation. Some say that a few were given to mint officials, while others speculate that they were sold to collectors before the general public even knew about them. But what makes these coins so special? First, let's talk about the design. The obverse side of the 1894 Liberty 1 dime features a beautiful depiction of Lady Liberty, wearing a coronet inscribed with the word Liberty. Her face is strong and confident, and the details in her hair and face give the coin a lifelike quality that's a hallmark of the Liberty series. The design, crafted by the famous mint engraver Charles Barber, embodies the ideals of freedom and independence, making it a striking example of American artistry. On the reverse side, the dime features the traditional symbols of American strength and unity, a wreath made of olive and laurel branches, with the words, "1 dime," in the center. The laurel represents victory, while the olive branch symbolizes peace. Together, these symbols are a reflection of the values that the United States held dear at the time, and they remain iconic today. Now, what truly sets the 1894 Liberty 1 dime apart from other coins of its time is its rarity and the sheer number of surviving specimens. As mentioned earlier, only 24 of these dimes were ever minted, and many of those have been lost to history. Over the years, several of these dimes have surfaced in private collections, and each time one is discovered, it sends shockwaves through the numismatic community. The scarcity of this coin, combined with its elegant design and its historical significance, makes it one of the most sought-after items in coin collecting. But, what's the actual value of an 1894 Liberty 1 dime today? While most coins in circulation today might only be worth a few dollars, this dime is a different story. When it comes to rare coins, condition is key, and the 1894 Liberty 1 dime is no exception. The value of these coins can vary based on their condition, with well-preserved examples commanding higher prices. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition could easily fetch an astounding sum at auction, as collectors are willing to pay top dollar for these extremely rare specimens. In fact, just a few years ago, one of these rare dimes, in excellent condition, sold for an eye-popping $70,000. Yes, that's $70,000 for a single dime. It's hard to believe that such a small, seemingly insignificant coin could carry such an enormous value, but that's the magic of numismatics. The rarity, history, and desirability of coins can elevate their worth to astronomical levels. If you happen to come across an 1894 Liberty 1 dime in your collection, or if you're lucky enough to find one in circulation, consider yourself incredibly fortunate. The coin's value can't be overstated, and it's truly a once-in-a-lifetime discovery for any serious coin collector. So, if you're a coin enthusiast, or simply someone with an eye for history, don't overlook this remarkable coin. The 1894 Liberty 1 dime is a piece of American history that continues to captivate collectors to this day. And if you ever find one, you could be holding onto a small fortune. Especially, we have something truly exciting for you. We're about to take a deep dive into the world of one of the most unique and valuable dimes in U.S. history, the 1967 Liberty 1 dime. This coin might look like just another dime at first glance, but trust me, there's much more to this little piece of currency than meets the eye. If you think the Liberty 1 dime from 1967 is just another dime, you're in for a big surprise. Stay with us as we uncover the fascinating history, design, rarity, and, of course, the jaw-dropping value of this incredible coin. Let's start with a bit of background. The year 1967 was a time of change in the United States. The country was experiencing significant social and political shifts, with the rise of counterculture movements and the tail end of the turbulent 1960s. But in the world of U.S. coinage, things were also in flux. The U.S. Mint was transitioning to a new method of production, and the composition of coins was changing to adapt to rising metal prices. By this time, silver was becoming harder to come by, and the government began phasing it out of many coins, including the dime. But what makes the 1967 Liberty 1 dime so special? To understand its value, we need to explore what makes this coin different from the others in its series. In 1967, the U.S. Mint made the decision to continue striking dimes with a composition that was 90% silver, just as they had been doing for decades. However, in the years following 1967, the Mint would switch to a copper-nickel alloy due to rising silver prices. This made 1967 one of the last years that a dime would be made with precious metal content. The 1967 Liberty 1 dime is significant not just because of its metal content, but also because of its place in U.S. history. This was one of the final dimes to feature the classic design that had been in circulation since the 1830s, the Liberty Head design. The coin was created by famed U.S. Mint engraver, Charles Barber, and it had been the face of the dime for over 30 years. The design itself was both elegant and timeless, featuring a profile of Lady Liberty with a coronet inscribed with the word Liberty. The obverse of the coin also has the year of minting, 1967, proudly displayed. On the reverse side of the coin, we see a traditional representation of the torch, olive branch, and oak branch. These symbols represent liberty, peace, and strength, values that have been at the heart of the United States for centuries. Together, the design elements give the 1967 Liberty 1 dime a unique charm, and collectors are drawn to it not just for its value, but for its symbolic significance. So, what sets the 1967 Liberty 1 dime apart from the rest of the dimes produced that year? It's the rarity and condition of the coin that makes it so valuable. While the majority of dimes minted in 1967 were produced in large quantities, only a small number of these coins were struck in pristine, uncirculated condition. Over the years, most of these dimes circulated in the economy, and like many coins, they became worn, tarnished, and damaged. Finding one in excellent condition is increasingly rare, and that's where the true value lies. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that are in near perfect or mint condition, and this is particularly true for coins like the 1967 Liberty 1 dime. If you're lucky enough to come across one that has been preserved in great shape, you're holding a piece of history that could be worth much more than face value. But here's where things get even more interesting. There are some 1967 Liberty 1 dimes that were minted with an error. Yes, that's right, mistakes made during the minting process can lead to some coins being much rarer and more valuable than others. The most valuable of these era coins are those with slight variations in design or minting inconsistencies. These unique, one-of-a-kind dimes are highly prized by collectors, and they can fetch a pretty penny at auction. Now, you're probably wondering, how much is a 1967 Liberty One dime really worth? Well, if you find one in mint or uncirculated condition, or if you happen to stumble upon a rare era coin, you could be looking at a truly remarkable value. It's not uncommon for high-quality 1967 dimes to sell for thousands of dollars. But the real surprise is that one of these dimes recently sold for a staggering $111,000, that's right, $111,000 for a single Liberty One dime from 1967. When you think about it, this is truly incredible. A coin that was once a simple piece of currency, worth just 10 cents, could end up selling for such an enormous amount of money. It's a testament to the rarity, condition, and historical significance of the 1967 Liberty One dime. So, what does this mean for you, the collector or coin enthusiast? If you've got an old stash of coins lying around, it might be time to take a closer look. You never know when you might discover a hidden gem that could turn into a small fortune. If you come across a 1967 Liberty One dime in good condition, make sure to have it evaluated by a professional. You might just be holding onto a piece of history that could be worth far more than you ever expected. Now, we're going to explore one of the most fascinating and valuable dimes ever minted in the United States, the 1975 Liberty One dime. You might think of dimes as just small change, but the 1975 Liberty One dime tells an incredible story that could lead to a surprise fortune. Stick around until the end because you're about to discover just how much this seemingly ordinary dime could be worth today. Let's start with some background on this little coin. The 1975 Liberty One dime is a part of a series that features the beloved Liberty head design, a symbol of freedom that has been part of U.S. coinage for decades. The design itself was created by the talented Charles Barber and has been on the dime since the late 1800s. On the obverse, we see a graceful portrait of Lady Liberty, her hair wrapped in a coronet inscribed with the word Liberty. The timeless design has been a staple of American currency for years, and it's this very design that gives the 1975 Liberty One dime its iconic look. Now, let's talk about the year 1975 and what was happening with U.S. currency at the time. By 1975, the United States was going through an interesting period in its history. The country had just come out of a tumultuous decade with the Vietnam War and the Watergate scandal behind it. Economically, the U.S. was dealing with inflation and rising prices, which led to the creation of more practical coinage designs. By this time, most of the coins circulating in the U.S. were made from a mix of copper and nickel, and silver was no longer a part of most regular circulation coins. The 1975 Liberty One dime, however, was still part of this traditional series, with its copper-nickel composition and classic design. But what sets this coin apart from other dimes minted around that time is something far more rare and intriguing: a slight production error. While most of the 1975 dimes were produced in large quantities and have little to no monetary value beyond their face value, a small number of these dimes were mistakenly struck in an unusual way. It's believed that a few 1975 dimes were mistakenly produced with silver, making them incredibly rare and highly valuable. This error, often referred to as a silver dime error, is a result of a mix-up during the minting process. While the majority of dimes produced in 1975 were made with copper-nickel, a few were accidentally struck with a higher percentage of silver, which makes them stand out from the rest. Now, why is this so important? Because silver dimes are significantly rarer and more valuable than their copper-nickel counterparts. At the time, the price of silver was rising, and the U.S. Mint was trying to cut costs by using less silver in coin production. So, a coin struck with silver in 1975 is extremely rare and highly desirable to collectors. For those who understand the intricacies of coin collecting, these silver dimes are more than just valuable, they're a true find in the world of numismatics. The design on the 1975 Liberty One dime still carries all the elegance and historical significance of the earlier versions. The obverse showcases Lady Liberty, her face full of grace and strength, representing the ideals of freedom and independence that America was built on. The reverse side features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength that have been part of the dime's design for generations. The rarity of these silver-era coins is what makes them so appealing to collectors. Because only a small number of these dimes were struck with silver, it's not easy to come by one in good condition. Over the years, many of them have been worn down through circulation, further driving up the value of the ones that remain in mint condition. Coins that have been well preserved, especially those with a high level of detail and minimal wear, are incredibly valuable. So, how much is the 1975 Liberty 1 dime worth today? Well, as with any rare coin, the value depends heavily on its condition and whether it has any unique features, like the silver minting error. A standard 1975 dime made from copper-nickel is worth, of course, just 10 cents. But when we talk about the rare silver 1975 Liberty 1 dime, things get interesting. In pristine condition, especially one of these era coins, this dime could sell for a surprising amount. In fact, a 1975 silver Liberty 1 dime has been known to fetch as much as $90,000. That's right, $90,000 for a single dime. This may seem unbelievable, especially considering the fact that the coin was originally worth just 10 cents when it was minted. But that's the magic of rare coins. A small mistake during production, a slight variation in design or composition, can make all the difference in the world when it comes to their value. So, what should you do if you think you've got one of these rare 1975 silver dimes? The first thing is to take a close look at its composition. If you suspect it could be silver, a simple test or professional evaluation can confirm whether it's one of the rare era coins. If it is, you might want to get it professionally graded by an organization like the Numismatic Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, to ensure its authenticity and condition. If you happen to have one of these rare 1975 silver dimes, you could be sitting on a small fortune. But even if you don't, the world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures waiting to be discovered, and sometimes, the most valuable finds are closer than you think. Next coin, we're about to explore one of the more fascinating and valuable dimes in American coinage, the 1980p Liberty 1 dime. At first glance, this may seem like just another dime in circulation, but trust me, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. You might be sitting on a potential fortune and not even know it. Let's start with a little history. The Liberty 1 dime series has a long-standing tradition in U.S. coinage, and the 1980p version is no exception. This particular dime was minted by the Philadelphia Mint, as indicated by the P mint mark, a feature that's relatively rare for coins minted in the 20th century, as most dimes from this period were struck without a mint mark. The 1980p dime stands out not only because of its mint mark but also due to its significance in the context of U.S. coin production during the late 20th century. The design on this dime is part of the Barber series, which has a storied history dating back to the late 1800s. The obverse of the 1980p Liberty 1 dime features a beautiful portrait of Lady Liberty, a symbol of freedom and strength. Her profile is adorned with a coronet inscribed with the word Liberty, an enduring emblem of America's values. On the reverse, we see the traditional symbols of liberty, with a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, representing strength, peace, and unity. These elements have been part of the dime design for many years, contributing to the coin's timeless appeal. So, why is the 1980p Liberty 1 dime considered so valuable? Well, the coin itself is not incredibly rare when it comes to mintage numbers. Millions were produced and distributed into circulation. However, there are certain factors that make this coin special, especially for collectors. One of the main reasons the 1980p dime is worth so much more than face value is due to its condition. Like most coins, the vast majority of 1980p dimes were heavily circulated, with many of them showing signs of wear and tear. But a small percentage of these coins were kept in pristine condition, and it's these coins that are sought after by collectors. The key to the value of the 1980p Liberty 1 dime lies in the fact that high-grade, well-preserved examples are incredibly rare. Most coins that were used in daily transactions have undergone significant wear over the years, resulting in a loss of detail and a diminished value. But if you happen to come across a 1980p Liberty 1 dime that has been well preserved, free from damage, and still maintains a sharp, crisp design, you could be holding a valuable piece of history. It's also important to note that, while this dime might not be the rarest coin out there are some instances where minting errors or variations have made certain 1980p dimes even more valuable. For example, some of these dimes were struck slightly off-center or displayed other errors in the minting process, making them unique and highly desirable to collectors. Coins with minting errors are always in high demand, as they are seen as one-of-a-kind treasures in the numismatic world. If you have a 1980p dime with such a flaw, it could be worth significantly more than a standard, uncirculated coin, but you might be asking, how much could the 1980p Liberty 1 dime really be worth? While most of the dimes from 1980 are valued at face value or just slightly more due to their condition, a rare, high-grade example, especially one with a minting error or unique feature, can be worth a lot more. In fact, some of the most well-preserved 1980p dimes have sold for prices that would leave any coin collector speechless. So, how much are we talking about? If you happen to find one of these dimes in exceptional condition, or if it has a rare minting error, you could see it sell for as much as $62,000, that's right, $62,000 for a single 1980p Liberty 1 dime. It's an incredible amount for a coin that started out with a face value of just 10 cents. But this is the world of rare coins, where small mistakes, high-quality preservation, and historical significance can turn a simple piece of currency into a small fortune. If you think you might have one of these rare coins, the best thing to do is to have it professionally graded by a reputable service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. These services can assess the condition of your coin and determine its authenticity, helping you to better understand its potential value. Coin collecting is an exciting and rewarding hobby, and sometimes the most valuable coins are the ones that seem the most ordinary at first glance. The 1980p Liberty 1 dime may seem like just another dime to many people, but for those who know what to look for, it could be worth a small fortune. So, the next time you're going through your spare change or sorting through an old collection, take a close look at those dimes. They might just surprise you. Last coin, we're about to dive into one of the most fascinating and valuable dimes in U.S. history, the 1977 Liberty 1 dime. At first glance, it might seem like just another coin from the late 20th century, but believe me, there's a lot more to this little dime than meets the eye. Let's start with the basics. The Liberty 1 dime series has been around since the late 1800s, and over the years, it's seen various designs, with the 1977 version being one of the most iconic. The coin features Lady Liberty, a timeless symbol of freedom, peace, and strength. On the obverse, you'll see her portrait, with her hair wrapped in a coronet inscribed with the word Liberty. She's graceful, elegant, and a true representation of what America stands for. Flip the coin over, and you'll find the reverse side, which features the torch, olive branch, and oak branch, a classic design representing unity, peace, and strength. These elements have been part of the dime for generations, creating a lasting connection to the ideals of liberty and democracy. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1977 Liberty 1 dime so special? The truth is, while most dimes from this period are quite common and don't carry a high value, the 1977 version has something unique about it that makes it highly coveted by collectors. Like most coins, the 1977 dimes were struck in large numbers and circulated extensively, so finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition is already a rare find. But here's where things get interesting. Certain 1977 dimes have been known to have unique features that set them apart from the rest. One of the key factors that make the 1977 Liberty 1 dime valuable is its condition. Over the years, millions of these dimes were used in daily transactions, which means that most of them have been worn down, faded, and damaged from constant circulation. A dime that's been through years of use typically shows signs of wear, including faded details and scratches. But there's a select group of 1977 dimes that have been well preserved, maintained in pristine condition, and kept safe from wear and tear. These are the ones collectors are willing to pay top dollar for, but the rarity doesn't end there. Some of the 1977 dimes have been struck with minting errors or unusual characteristics, which makes them even more valuable. For instance, some 1977 dimes were accidentally struck with a misalignment or slight off-center design, making them unique and highly desirable to collectors. These errors are particularly sought after because they are one-of-a-kind, and for collectors who appreciate numismatic oddities, they're considered an invaluable treasure. It's these rare minting errors, along with the exceptional condition of the coin, that can significantly increase the value of a 1977 Liberty 1 dime. But what makes these dimes even more fascinating is that they are not only valuable for their rarity and condition, they also serve as a reminder of a pivotal time in U.S. history. The 1970s was a period of social change, economic uncertainty, and political upheaval in the United States. The design of the Liberty 1 dime, with its timeless representation of liberty and freedom, takes on an even deeper meaning when viewed through the lens of that era. So, how much could the 1977 Liberty 1 dime be worth today? If you happen to find one of these rare dimes in excellent condition, or better yet, one with a minting error, you could be looking at a substantial payout. While most 1977 dimes are worth just a few cents, the rare and well-preserved examples can fetch a much higher price. In fact, a 1977 Liberty 1 dime in pristine condition, especially one with a minting error, could be worth as much as $100,000, yes, that's right, $100,000 for a single dime. It's amazing to think that a coin that was once valued at just 10 cents could appreciate in value to such an incredible amount. But that's the world of rare coins. Small details, unique features, and a bit of history can turn an ordinary coin into an extraordinary one. If you think you've stumbled upon one of these rare 1977 dimes, don't just throw it back into your coin jar. Take a closer look at its condition. Is it well preserved? Are there any noticeable minting errors or variations in design? If so, you may want to get it professionally graded by an expert. Having a coin graded can give you a clear understanding of its value and ensure that it's authentic, which is essential when you're dealing with something as valuable as a rare dime. The 1977 Liberty 1 dime is a prime example of how coins that seem ordinary at first glance can hold incredible value. Whether it's due to its exceptional condition, its unique minting errors, or its historical significance, this coin is a hidden gem in the world of numismatics. So, the next time you're going through your change or checking out an old collection, take a moment to examine those dimes. Who knows? You might just discover a treasure worth much more than you expected. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss any future updates. Happy collecting, and remember, treasures are often found in the most unexpected places.